Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I just thought I would share with you today a project that I started back in spring. We're now into autumn, but I thought I'd share with you this spring project that I've completed a few weeks ago. It all started from the walks that I do around the area, and during the early springtime I went on a few walks and I wanted to just take notice of things that were happening in nature. Those little things that sometimes pass us by and we don't take the time to notice. So as I was out on my walks, I'd notice these things, and then I'd get back home and I'd just make a little note in my notebook, just a simple sentence, just something about the walk that I'd been on that day. So this project, I started off thinking that I might like to do a scroll incorporating some of the notes. It was still going to be a textile collage, but a scroll instead of a book. But as I was making it in the beginning, I did think that it might lend itself better to being a fabric book. So what I'll do, I'll just talk you through some of the things that I did to make the book. So we're starting with the cover, and I've got a little title that I've stitched just as a reference as to the time that I made the book. I've used commercial fabrics and some of my own hand painted fabrics, and I've also used some vintage ribbons, and you'll see those appear throughout the book. Another thing that I've used is in my stash I've got some lace collars that I've actually took some of the embellishments from. I started off by painting these collars to go with the book in these blues, and then I've fussy cut out some of the elements, and there again I've put these throughout the book. So we come to the first page, and here I've got an abundance of new growth. So as spring started to get going, which seemed to be quite late in the year this year, you did then see quite an abundance of new growth. It seemed to be that it started with nothing, and then all of a sudden spring sprang and we'd get a lot of lovely fresh green shoots coming. So again, I've got the textile collage with the vintage ribbon here, some of my hand painted fabrics, and then the commercial fabrics, and here's another embellishment from the lace collar. I quite like that little leaf there. And then on to the next page, we've got flowering horse chestnut. On my walks around my area, I pass a horse chestnut tree most days. So throughout the year I see it changing from one season to the next. And I'd seen the buds coming late winter, and during the spring these buds open out and you get the fresh leaves, but you also get the beautiful pink flowers. And here again, some of the vintage ribbon and another embellishment from the collar. And as you can see, I've added varying stitches, a seed stitch there, and then some straight stitches here, running stitch. And on the next page, we've got sunlight through the leaves of trees. There's just something about when there are green leaves that have just burst open. They're so vibrant, and when you've got that touch of sunlight that's appearing, just glimpses of it through those leaves, and on a breezy day, as those leaves move and you get the glint of the sun, it's just so beautiful. So this is what I saw on one of those walks. And there's another a leaf embellishment there, and this time I've used the vintage ribbon, but I've done it on the reverse because I don't know if you can see that, it looks like little bobbins, so just using it a different way. And this commercial fabric here is some spotty fabric, which I've got a bit of here. This is how it started. But I like to take patterned fabric and just let that dictate how I might want to stitch something. So as you can see here, I've given it this effect. It's a bit like a quilted grid effect. And again, I've used seed stitches here and some running stitch. On to the next page, and we've got smell the warmer air. I don't know about you, and it sounds strange that we're smelling the warmer air. How can you smell warmer air? Well, I think that each season has a certain smell, and like in the autumn, you just seem to get a smell. If you walk through the woods or something, there's that sort of smell that you know that autumn's here. Well, I think you can have the same effect in the spring, that you can just smell that some warmer air is coming, and you just, you enjoy that feeling of spring air. And there's another embellishment from the collar. Here I've used some cross stitches as well, and here some straight stitches. This next page, I remember being on the walk, and normally the place where I walk, it's a patch of green, and you get a lot of dog walkers there, but this particular day it was just so peaceful. No one else was around. You could hear the birds singing, and it was lovely. So I just made this note that no one else was here, because it was just so rare not to see anyone else on this particular walk. Now, in the same place, this patch of green grass, there was just this group of starlings busily pulling out worms. So I just had to put that as a little note. It's just a lovely little scene to see. And as you can see, I've just used a couple of little flower embellishments from that same collar, and there's the vintage ribbon again, and some of the spotty fabric that I've stitched in between the spots as well. So that's just one of those little projects that I didn't intend on doing, but it turned out to be a lovely project to work on, and I'd love to do some more throughout the different seasons. As yet I've not done any more, but it is something that I'd like to do. So I hope you've enjoyed spending a little bit of time looking through this book with me. Maybe you'd like to go out, and when you're on a walk, just take a little time to just notice those little things and maybe make a note of them, and perhaps you can incorporate them into one of your projects. Okay, thanks for joining me everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Take care.